reason why there's no video?
It was turned off until just a second ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Raquel, can you open up the video, please?
And thank you for Raquel for stepping in.
I don't see where I'm stopping any video. Let's see here.
Try to start it. It says the host has stopped it.
Yeah, so this webinar was created through the First Selectman's office, so it wasn't created by me. So let me see if I could go into the settings and see what they may have selected here. One second.
Sorry, we never connected yesterday, Joe. It was
One of
quite
those days, huh, Joe?
I got into bed just thinking about what actually happened yesterday, you know, one of those. But I can say these documents are long and arduous. Do you think that's an appropriate statement?
Definitely. I'd say it goes beyond that, but tortuous might be another one.
There you go. That's
When you-
probably
when you-
a better one.
when you try to read them all, but I got through them between yesterday and yesterday evening. I got through them. Joan, do you have anything that you have a question on before we vote? Because I had like three things, but I was wondering if anybody else had any.
I just had a couple of commenting things on one of them. It's more formatting, where like they remove a word and replace it with another word, and then they use the old word in referencing, and I just think that that's potentially an issue legally, but that, I mean, if the attorney didn't care, then I probably shouldn't even care.
I can't, whoa.
I think it's more of a consistency thing, Joan, right?
Well, they removed neglects and said fails, and then default or neglect versus default or failure. So that's why it was supposed to be stronger, because fails is stronger than neglects. So I don't know. But
So we now have a quorum. That's good.
yay.
Self, Dave, Joan, and Ann. Thanks for
And-
joining us, Ann.
And Joe's coming in as well. He's on there we go.
There you go. And for those of you who are trying to open up the video,
Yeah, for some reason, I'm guessing the way that this was created, the webinar, the video section was not selected, and unfortunately I don't have access to this as I didn't create the actual webinar. So I guess while you go through your meeting, I could try and work on my end to see what I could do here.
well, I don't believe that video is going to be critical to this.
No.
So at least not anything that I have here. So I will refer to the documents at times, but it's not necessarily something that has to go on video.
Mhm.
And I do believe you're able to share your screen as well. So that might be helpful.
Ann, you have a comment?
Are we back to questions about the documents?
Well, we haven't opened the meeting yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was really just sort of a poll to see if you have questions on the documents that would prevent us from approving it.
I do have some just general questions. I think probably Ann does too, but
I really only have one question.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, we have one video. You're on. Remember, your ceiling is on. But I believe what I'd like to do is call the meeting to order. So if we haven't been recording, if we can start recording now. And what I would like to do, unless there's a parliamentarian here that says I can't do this, I would like to open with a motion from the chair to approve the document, the agreement, as might be amended in our discussions. It doesn't need a second, and I think that will keep us absolutely on track, that this is the only item we can discuss. And that would, I think that would, at least for me, it would keep me, and I hope all of us, focused on the one thing we have to do in the next 30 minutes.
Right. So you do need a second. So I will second that upon amendments as well.
Okay,
And then we can go into discussion.
in discussion, that's the point.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for joining on 2:30, and Raquel, thank you for hosting this meeting.
Raquel, are we recording?
Yes, you're live on YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
Does that record? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So we're, as I said in the motion, I would like to open the discussion and keep it focused on things that would prevent us. Okay. I would like to focus on the things that that would either that would directly affect our vote on this and in a short period of time. So with that, I'll open the discussion, and anyone who would like to raise their hand can go first with any questions or any comments. Joan, go ahead.
So I just have a question for the folks that are in this industry. Is it normal for what appears to be a contractor agreement? It references the architect, but most of this is really derived at the contractor itself. And the definition of the contractor was not the architect, but actually the construction manager. Are the architects doing the construction management as well? Or am I reading this wrong?
So Joan, this is Mark. Good to hear from you all today. So you might be referencing the A201, which is the general conditions.
Correct.
Yeah, the A201 is generally typical to include in both the architect's contract and the contractor's contract, whether it's a GC or CM, because there are references to the architect's role during construction in the A201, and we want both the architect and the contractor to be working under the same kind of rules and conditions. So it is very, very normal and typical to have the A201 included with the architect's agreement.
And that exact one will be the same in
Yeah.
the contractor unless there's
Yeah.
and if there is an amendment, both would be amended, correct?
100%, exactly. Yeah. So
Okay.
once we
All right.
finalize this for the architect, when we go for contractor selection, whether it's CM or GC, the same process will be followed. That document will be issued with another owner contractor agreement. And if for some reason or another, the A201 gets amended during the negotiation,
I think
or
that's
whatever, it'll
a
be
future
amended.
thing. That's a future thing. We can
Yep.
move on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, we have 30 minutes. I don't know if
Okay.
this closes in 30 minutes, but I know a number of people only have 30 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, and any other comments, if you want to raise your hand? Anne?
So in Exhibit C, it seems to indicate that we will not be getting as-built drawings. Mark, can you clarify that?
We're getting as-built drawings from the contractor, not from the architect.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Just wanted to clarify.
I'll be quick.
That was my same question. Yep. Proceed.
I think I had that too. Anyone else? I have two that go together. On the A201 on page 13, it says the owner shall designate in writing a representative who shall express authority to bind the owner with respect, blah, blah, blah. And that connects to B10, B102.
Yep.
Which, if on page 4, it says the owner identifies the following representative. That space is blank.
Correct. That needs to be provided to me. Either it's Peggy or you, Joe, or somebody else, but I do need that information.
Would it normally be me? The chairman of the committee?
It could be.
I don't think Peggy's going to, she is not going to be signing every drawing, or is this the person that signs every drawing?
No, it's just basically what you're saying is the owner shall render decisions and approve the architect's submitted documents. So submitted documents are plans and specs, submitted documents are invoices. Unless there's somebody else acting on behalf of the town, like Bill McMinn is for the schools, it may traditionally be you. So,
I'm not Peggy Lyons, but I know Peggy doesn't want to be involved in this particular part of the project.
So you could put me as that point.
Got
And
it.
if we have to make a change later on, we can update it in some way.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And okay, and then B201, page 1, the date of the agreement. I imagine that's going to be put in when we eventually put that in today. But
Yeah,
on page 2, 116, the owners anticipate a sustainable objective for the project. What is that? I mean, is that like LEED?
sustainability is high performance building, LEED, LEED certification. We had written in the RFP what elements of sustainability the project would be looking for. So it obviously wasn't pursuing any LEED certification, but we had geothermal, we had, rather references to a, high performing building. So that's why we referenced the RFP.
Okay, would it have to be put in here? Would it have to?
No, the
Reference-
RFP is an exhibit as an attachment, Joe. So it'll be, it's part of the agreement by proxy of being the an attachment to the agreement.
And then below that, 117, the persons or entities in addition to the owner's rep who are required to review the architect's submittal to the owner are as follows. Would that be you, Mark? Or are you the owner's rep? Or is that me as the additional one?
I mean, we could list Colliers for that role to review. I mean, you're not going to want to review submittals. Again, this could be a Bill McMinn type if you had somebody from the facilities department that wanted to review submittals. These are very detailed, technical documents. So absent, anybody like Bill on this project, it probably should be Colliers.
Okay, if you can insert that.
Yep.
So Mark, just to clarify that really quick, so submittals in by the contractor are reviewed by the architect?
Yeah. Well, there's that. But then there's also, we're going to review drawings. We're going to review estimates. We're going to review information coming from the architect.
Correct.
So that's what this is essentially saying, that
Not
we get drawings, we're going to be reviewing them. And anything else that comes out of the architect's, office.
so you have someone on your staff to review these, Mark?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Page 14.
Of the same document.
The same document, let's see.
You want it to?
B201.
Or B201, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm in B201. Page 14, the as constructed record drawings, that's already been noted.
Yep.
The responsibility tenant related services. We have 2 tenants that we've already identified. What services would this include or not, or exclude?
Yeah, so
That are not being provided.
this is not tenant in the sense of what you're thinking. You're thinking of more like building occupants. This would be a tenant who is a renter of a space. So if this was a commercial office space, a tenant would be, the leasee of the space versus the building owner, who has other responsibilities. So this is, it's a different nomenclature.
And commissioning owner responsibility, we've already determined that. Is that okay? And lastly, the historic.
Hold on, Joe.
Yeah,
Did we determine that? I thought we said the commissioning was going to rely with the commissioning agent under the architect.
Well, no, okay, what I was saying, for what typically happens here is the commissioning agent is not part of the architect's team. It's a separate consultant. That is hired by the owner, it's usually not with the architect.
Okay, so because that was my only question, I guess it's for the committee. Is that what we agreed to and is that what we want? Because as stated, it says the owner will hire the commissioning agent. We may put it under the owner's representative, which is fine. I just want to make sure that that's where we landed.
Yeah, this isn't binding you, Joe, to have to hiring a commissioning agent. This is just saying if you're going to hire a commissioning agent, it would be through the owner, not through the architect.
Got it.
Or we may through the owner's rep.
Or the owner's rep. But yeah, it's just either way, it's not by the architect is what this is saying.
Okay.
and lastly, historic preservation, with no one's responsibility.
Again, this is a very specific duty of the design team. It's part of the building is historic, and will be treated as such. But it's not at the level of the historic preservation that this particular area would require them. It'd be way more extensive a service.
Okay, answer the questions. I have no further. Joan, you have your hand. You have a raised hand.
Yes, thank you. So quickly, in section, let's stay on exhibit B. Section 1.2 we're saying experience with school building design?
Yeah, I changed that to community center. Yeah,
Okay.
that was that too. Yeah.
I wasn't, okay.
Yeah.
And then I want to go back to exhibit C.
That's hold on 1 second. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That is the B201. Or no.
Yes, B201.
Yep, B201. Yep.
Page 14. Is there a reason why the detailed estimating beyond that required in section 0.53 was removed and as construct? Well, we talked about the as constructed.
Yeah, so we have very specific requirements for estimating in section 5.3.
Yep.
That is typical and standard, which is why this was removed.
Okay.
It's a detail.
So that's covered more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
And then the second part, Joan, was?
We had already talked about the
the as
removal for
constructed
the
represent,
detail
yeah.
because that's going to go under the contractor.
Yep.
And then there was some nomenclature that I just wanted to clarify because I just wasn't sure if, I know that the attorneys missed it, but I'm sorry. And this is going to go to A201 page. Sorry, I was able to actually insert comments because I have the PDF capability to do that. Sorry. Okay, so page 14. Bottom of the page 2.5. It was changed to defaults or neglects, and instead of neglects, it says fails. So, but further on, it says defaulted neglect rather than default or failure, and it says default or neglect rather than default or failure. And I just don't know if because we removed neglect at the top, the very first sentence, if it shouldn't kind of carry through.
Yeah, I just noticed that too.
Yeah, usually, like, I get into the weeds sometimes with this stuff because I just don't know. I know that if it got changed, there was probably a legal reason for the level that it got changed to. And I want to make sure that
I agree. Yeah, and I just changed that to fail as well.
Okay, so there's two other, so on line 3 and 4.
Yep, I got it.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Okay.
And
And
oh, go ahead, Joan, I'm sorry.
So there's also, if neglect's being stricken, on the next page, third line, it should be such as default or failure, and neglect should probably be stricken there as well. It either should be included all the way through or removed all the way through.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay,
Yep, I'm good now.
yeah,
And I'd like to go back to that same page 14 and the as constructed record drawings. Where did we land on who's going to provide those?
the contractor.
So that should actually be filled in as the
Well,
contract.
again, you're looking at the B201, which
Yes.
is the architects. The as constructed drawings will be required in the contractor's contract, which is a different document.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, and it does say that the contractor must provide them before final payment will be issued
that's probably the
in
A201.
A201.
Yeah,
So we don't have to insert contractor in that line.
no, the contractor won't see the B201 or the B102.
Okay.
Got it. So the general question is, can you make them more complicated? No, sorry.
We get a lot of feedback, but these contracts, Joan, have been edited over the last 30 years we've been in business by many, many, many lawyers and many, many people like
No.
yourselves to just, provide clarity. It's
I
complicated.
know exactly what you're talking about. I've
Yeah,
been-
it's-
My company's been in business 32 years. Our contracts have morphed. Yep. Sorry.
It's much clearer as complicated as it looks, and it would be without
Yeah.
these edits.
Exactly. Okay.
So has anyone been keeping track of the changes?
I have been,
Okay,
I've been making the changes actually, in the
as
document.
we went?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have the B102 the owner's responsibilities 2.2, that my name would go in there.
Yep.
And then the wherever it says the other person required to be Colliers.
Yep.
And I think that was that about it?
I think
I think
so,
the rest-
other than the word changes that I just got from Joan.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
You want to ask for any further discussion?
Any further discussion?
No, not for me.
On here, on here.
In
Okay,
here.
all in, you're gonna, since you can't raise your hand on this, we're gonna have to take a single, we're gonna have to take an individual call here, so we can be sure we got them all. So all in favor of passing, of approving this contract, the set of contracts, as we amended it, please say aye. And Dave,
Aye.
Joan,
I,
Joe,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Joe Valentine, aye. We are unanimous. We have 8 minutes left. I don't have the agenda in front of me. So the motion passes. And the next action for that would be this amendments, the amendments and changes will be made to these documents, and they're presented to Peggy Lyons for signature. And she has already been authorized by the Board of Selectmen to sign once we have done this exercise and approve the contract to be sent to her for signature.
Joe, I'm also going to do the second part of part 2, which is approve the sorry, that was the first one. There is no public. So as I see in the attendee list, so section 3 is public comment, and since there is none, I think we're probably good.
If everybody, I call I move we adjourn. Anybody have any ability to say, anybody wants to say no to that?
I just want to
Okay.
state that maybe the motion as changed should also include in the amount of $939,000 is the full contract amount.
Okay,
So I think we can just slide that in as well.
Plus expenses.
No, expenses are included.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Fastest meeting, Joe. Good job.
thank you, everyone, and thanks for your input, and Mark, thank you for your diligence in preparing this and getting ready, and Raquel, thank you for hosting the meeting. Thanks to everyone. Everybody have a good afternoon.
Take care, everyone.
Here's
Have a good
all.
weekend.